This is what the locals call Qasr el-Bint. This was the temple of Dushara, who was the chief god of the Nabateans. This is the only freestanding building still remaining in Petra. There have been a number of devastating earthquakes that have basically destroyed every other building that was not carved into the rock, one in the early 4th century, another in the middle of the 8th century. So why is this important? Who was Dushara? Dushara is the title. It means Lord of the Shara Mountains. In the Bible, it's spelled S-E-I-R, Seir. It's equivalent with Edom. When God marched from Paran, which is another name for Sinai, he came from Seir. There are a number of references that equate Seir with Edom. It's probable, according to scholars, that Dushara, the Lord of Shara, adopted by the Nabateans as their god, when they moved into this area in the 6th century BC, after the Babylonians under Nabonidus defeated the Edomite kingdom, they just took over the local god, the regional god, which was probably the national god of Edom called Kaus. Kaus was a warrior god. He was an archer. The word in Hebrew, in fact, means bow. But instead of being a weapon, it can also represent the rainbow, and that's significant because the storm god, the weather god, who was the king of the pantheon of most of the people around Israel in the Levant, was, of course, Baal. The reason it's important to remember that this equation between Kaus, the chief god of Edom, and the weather god Hadad, Baal, in the Old Testament is because the chief god of the Arabians at the time of Muhammad was called Hubal, H-U-B-A-L. In the South Syrian dialect, that essentially means the Baal. What we're looking at here is a temple dedicated to the weather god of the Western Semites, Baal, identified in the Bible as Satan by Jesus. Now, why are we pointing all of this out? It's more than just interesting history. In the 4th century AD, a Christian bishop from the island of Cyprus named Epiphanius wrote about the religion of the Nabateans and said that they worshipped a god who was born of a virgin, and that in the course of this worship, they circumambulated the sacred spot. The thing is, it's probable that Epiphanius misunderstood the Arabic word for virgin, which is Kaaba, for the word for cube, which is Kaaba, which is exactly what stood right here in the forecourt of the temple of Dushara.
Ah, the Kaaba.
Yes.
We've heard that word before.
Yes, we have. A Canadian scholar by the name of Dan Gibson has done some excellent work on this. We'll only summarize it here, but suffice it to say, we believe that the original site of the Kaaba was right here in Petra, right in front of the temple of Dushara. See Israel with the Gilberts, March 19th through 30th of 2023 with an optional 3-day extension to Jordan. For more information, log on to gilberthouse.org/travel.